I feel things much louder than others. Have you had that experience before? When it seems like everything is overwhelming and you can't cope because everything seems to be so difficult and it's like a noise in your head. That was me, and in this video I want to help you understand why you might have felt like that. It's the journey that I took to help me not feel in that way and make things easier. So, what is the real aim here? In these videos, when I'm talking about a subject, when I'm talking about a conflict or some pain, I always feel it's really important that we have an aim. And my aim is always to be more at peace, to be able to cope more. I think I've said before, this might be your aim or not, that you decide what it is that you want when we're doing this video. So what does it feel like? This experience of that I am loud, my feelings are louder than others, or the world feels much louder than others. For me, it was like things used to hurt more. I felt I was sensitive to anything almost, any shouting or any pain, and I couldn't cope. It's like I wanted to run away. I wanted to shut people out. I wanted to shut the world out. It was just too much. And it was like feelings took me over. The experiences I had made it almost impossible to cope with. And I don't know about you, but I found also that the voice that we have in our heads, that voice that is screaming at us most of the time, it was like my voice was shouting at me, shut up, move away, I wish they'd go away, I can't find peace. And for me, that was part of the problem. The feelings and experiences on the one hand, but it made my voice speak louder, shout louder at me. It was like that voice never shuts up. It was like my head was going to explode. If someone else says something to me, I'm going to lose it. Or if that noise doesn't stop, I'm going to lose it. It got to the point that it was the voice in my head that actually was the thing that I wanted to control. It's the thing that I was having most discomfort with. And when you're like that, of course, why are you getting frustrated? Why do you think it's more difficult than others? Because you cannot think straight. You cannot concentrate. So that's what it felt like to me. This feeling or this question. I feel things much more than others. So what is the conflict here? Why would I have thought that? What's the point of thinking that? How is that going to help me? You see, all thoughts happen for a reason. Whether you want the thought or not, these thoughts arise, just like your feelings. So what is that thought implying, or what is it saying to you? Well, like I've said, it wants the world to shut up. You want the voice to shut up. But you're also saying, I don't want to feel like this. Things shouldn't be like this. Why me? Why do I have to put up with other people's noise, or why is it so difficult for me? And very often that question or even that thought is, why me, makes it difficult. Because immediately you're saying, why is the world against me? Why are others against me? So what else is that voice saying? Well, that voice is saying, I want to be heard. I want to be understood. I want my feelings to be acknowledged. I want other people to say, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I can see what you're going through. It's almost like you're crying out for the world or for others to say, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I acknowledge what's happening to you. For others to be saying, yeah, I can imagine how bad that feels. Because that's reassurance, isn't it? That's other people in your mind, like I was, saying to you, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Martin. I can see what's happening. And that acknowledgement that we seek, and I sought at the time, is something that will help us, because then you're not alone. You know that you're not the only one. So what choices do you have here in terms of making it better or making it easier? Well, you always have the choice to do nothing, don't you? You always have the choice to hope that things will get better on their own. But they didn't for me, and I found that I had to do something, that I had to find a way of bringing that peace that I didn't have or I couldn't find. So, for sure, it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to feel like that. Nobody wants to be overwhelmed with feelings. Nobody wants to think that they are the one that's got the worst feelings. But I asked myself, well, how do I know? How do I know I am worse off than others, or that I do? It was almost like there was some, let's say, self-pity. There was some sort of, well, I want others to feel sorry for me. Okay, that may be part of it. And did I really know that I was worse off? And what did that mean to me? It might have meant to me that if I'm worse off, then others are going to be more helpful to me, or going to give me more space, or make more allowances. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like the mind is trying to get others to give reassurance. It's like you're reaching out. I was crying out to say, this is how I'm feeling. Please help me. Please understand me. Also, others might not even give you that reassurance. As you say that statement, I'm worse off than you, or I'm worse off than others, others might not appreciate that. Others might think, well, so what? Would that make it worse? And it did for me, because I wanted them. I needed them to understand me, because I couldn't understand myself. You see, you might have had, like I did, some really bad stuff going off early in your childhood. And because of the environment you grew up in, and because of the situation and perhaps pain and so on that you had, like it or not, life became difficult. Adulthood or teenagehood was very difficult, because that's the world that you experienced. Life was difficult. And over time, things didn't change. So isn't it any wonder that by the time you get to a point when it's really difficult, you're saying to yourself, I can't cope. I can't handle this. I'm worse off than others. So be aware of that trap. Be aware of the mind saying to you, I'm worse off. I'm worse off than others. Because you might not, and they might not give you that acknowledgement, or they might not listen to you. And that is more upsetting, as I found. And that sounds maybe quite harsh, but what I'm implying here is, even though it's great to have that acknowledgement, even though it's really important that others acknowledge, first of all, listen to yourself, listen to your body. Because if you want others to listen to you or acknowledge you, then the chances are you're not yourself. You're not doing that yourself. And you're wasting your energy or time in wanting others to. Whereas it's a signal, it's a sign that you could be listening to you more about why you feel like it. What is these feelings giving you? What are these feelings telling you? And I found reassurance in that. That actually I felt the responsibility of how I felt. And I started to accept that maybe I am sensitive or oversensitive to noise, to people, to things. And that's okay. That was my acknowledgement of me. So what we've talked about today is basically, if you feel life is harder for you, or if you feel that you feel things louder than others, yeah, that might be a call to others to acknowledge you. That might be a reaching out and saying, help me. And others may. And that may work for you. But also others may not. And what are you left with? The only thing you're left with is for you to acknowledge you. For you to start to come to terms with how you feel and what that means to you. Okay. See you next time. Thanks for watching. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this and want to learn more about emotions and overcoming problems, consider subscribing. If you relate and want to share or leave a comment, that would be great, and that would reach other people and inspire them. And also, the quickest and easiest way for you to get help is to message me or email me. I look at all of my messages daily, and I'll get back to you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.